So every April, we all know that April is tax month. We all get our W-2s in the mail by February or March. So you know that is tax month. So during his presidential campaign, is that Mitt Romney, he's been expressing his ideas for a tax reform that we haven't had since 1988. And his tax reform includes a 20% tax reduction. But the thing is, reducing taxes means that the government's going to be bringing in less money, less revenue, which doesn't help our economy because we're already in debt deeply into China, borrowing money consistently. So the thing is that he hasn't given me many details about it. So Eliot Spitzer, he was the former governor of New York. He simply stated that Mitt Romney's tax plan is Swiss cheese. In other words, it's full of holes. And Mitt Romney, his tax plan consists of a 20% tax reduction in which he also repeals other and eliminates other taxes. And Rick Newman of U.S. News, he studied Mitt Romney's tax plan and did a breakdown in it in which he simply stated that the higher class is going to benefit more than the middle class. And William Gale, he is the co-director of the Tax Policy Center. He stated that he did an arithmetic study in which he took in all of Mitt Romney's plans to bring in revenue and to make it revenue neutral. And he said that it simply does not add up. So in this speech, I'll inform you on Mitt Romney's tax plan and how it will affect the economy. First, I will explain to you the basic ideas of Mitt Romney's tax plan. Second, I will inform you on how it will affect the high class and the middle class. And lastly, I will inform you on what he plans on making it revenue neutral. So first, is that Mitt Romney, his basic thing that he's advertising strongly is that he's going to have the 20% tax reduction, which helps everyone. It's going to reduce taxes across the board for the high class and the middle class. So but what that does is that it's going to reduce taxes for everyone, which is a complete bonus, but that's also going to bring us in debt $5 trillion over 10 years, which you guys may have heard of during the first debate, Obama jabbing Romney about a $5 trillion tax hike in which he would raise the middle class. That's a worst case scenario in case he doesn't bring in any type of money at all. So that's one problem with it. And then the other things he plans to do is he plans to repeal taxes, such as the estate tax. And estate tax, if you guys don't know, that is the tax that you get taxed on when a relative dies and you inherit a property. So that he's going to repeal that. And he also plans on repealing the alternative minimum tax, which is our basic income tax. And he plans on repealing Obamacare, because he also talked about that during the first debate that he wants to get rid of that. And so these are the basic ideas of his plan, which he plans on doing immediately after he's inaugurated as president. Second is that how it will affect the high class and the middle class. Basically, it will benefit the high class fully because they're going to have most of their taxes reduced, so they're not going to be paying basically no taxes. But that also hurts us because that 20% tax reduction, we all know that the more money you make, the more tax money you're going to be paying the government, the more they take away from you. We all see that in our paychecks. That kills us. We see how much money they take away from us. So that's going to be a negative on the high class, a negative for us on the high class because they're going to be paying basically nothing to the government, and they're going to be coming up 4% in their actual income. And for the middle class is going to also get the 20% tax reduction, which is also going to help us. But what he plans on doing on the middle class is setting certain tax reduction caps, which will range from $17,000 to $25,000. And what this will do is just limit how much credits you can have and how much deduction you can have, because he plans on reducing how much families receive for their children based on how much money, like tax write-offs, such things like that. And what he also plans on doing on the middle class is that he's going to reduce your tax deductions as an incentive for the middle class to start saving more money, because he sees it as a plus, because he thinks that it'll induce positive behavior for the middle class to be saving money aside for college. And he also plans on maintaining how much taxes you get paid, or how much taxes you pay for your on charitable donations and things like that. So lastly, is that Mitt Romney, he plans on how he plans on making his tax plan revenue neutral is that he plans on setting those tax reduction caps at $17,000. That's the lowest he can go. But the thing is that only brings in about $2.7 trillion over 10 years, which still leaves $2.3 trillion, which is a problem because it doesn't add up to the $5 trillion that it's going to accumulate over 10 years. So that's an issue. But what he said about that is that it will. He plans on that his tax plan will raise income in families, creating jobs, And he also stated an exact number about that. He stated that it will create 12 million jobs within the 10 years, which means more people are working, which also means that the government is receiving more taxes based on their workers. And that's strongly based on assumptions. So he plans on that working out itself out, which seems unreal because we've already been having trouble enough making jobs already. So it doesn't seem realistic that jobs can just automatically pop up through his tax plan by reducing taxes. So that's one issue with his how he plans to balance it out. And then he also plans on doing like deals with other countries in which that they're going to invest in us, they're going to either determine a certain percentage. So he plans on that, also balancing it out and making it revenue neutral. So today, I informed you on Mitt Romney's tax plan. First, I informed you on how his tax, basic ideas for his tax plan, including the 20% tax reduction, and which taxes he will repeal, such as the estate tax. And second, I informed you how it will affect the high class and the middle class, in which the high class will benefit more by barely paying any taxes, and the middle class having the most of their tax deduction reduced. So the middle class is going to be hurting most of it because they're going to be forced to pay taxes if anything else does not work itself out. And lastly, I inform you what he plans on creating his tax plan to be revenue neutral, because he plans on setting tax deduction caps, which will the lowest he can go is $17,000, which will only bring in $2.7 trillion over 10 years, which doesn't add up to the 2.3. And he also plans on creating jobs. He's assuming that his tax plan will create jobs over 10 years at 12 million jobs. And he plans on also taxing countries who invest in America like a certain percentage. And he says that will also create his job to be revenue neutral. So thank you.